Hello, everyone. This is Pedro Romero reporting on the 2021 LCS Championship playoffs. I have here with me Bakery of Dignitas, who just lost their lower bracket series to Immortals, thus eliminating them from LCS and Worlds contention. And so, Bakery, I know it must have been a difficult series to watch, but I'd like to know how you're feeling at this moment.
Yeah, it's never easy to lose. There's also never anything that can make losing better. It's never really anything you can say. But the thing that I know is that I know how much work every single player, staff member, um, the managers, just everyone at Dignitas put into this team this year, and I am so proud of the things that we did accomplish. Being second place in Spring Split for a few weeks, getting top six in both splits, overcoming every expectation that people had of us, and real standout performances from the people that stepped in and really, stepped up to the plate and did great stuff for the team. So I'm really proud of everything that our team has done this year, and always sucks to lose.
Yeah, and you highlighted the excellent performance that the team showed in spring, and so I mean you guys had a very wonderful spring, and um, then you guys sort of like the play deferred as such in summer, in which you hovered around the mid table, mid to lower mid table, and so from that end, I'd like to know what have you seen from the team's performance in summer, and then leading up to playoffs.
So one of the traits that we had before in spring is that we were just as strong on stage as we were in scrims. And very often teams are the opposite, where they are much stronger in scrims and weaker on a stage. That meant we had a very bad record in scrims and we had a very good record on stage. Um, we kind of swapped that out and we got way less consistent. So our scrim record went up massively. We almost doubled our win rate, which is absurd um, in some weeks. And the counterpoint to that is that our LCS stage matches were a bit more inconsistent. Things were going weirder more often, but we still saw some absolute stomps of games, which is truly showing our true potential. Think about the games versus 100 Thieves or Team Liquid, where we just came in and stomped them. And look how good Team Liquid is now, right? So yeah, there were still flashes of dominance, which was amazing, but overall we just weren't consistent enough. And at the end of the day, today we just didn't play very well, and that is what led to our loss.
And so within that summer, you guys encountered some roster swaps. And so, I mean, first off, that switch between Yusui and Saligo at mid lane, and then the dismissal of Dardoch, or the removal of Dardoch, which paved the way for Acadian. And so, how did the team remained focused amidst that adversity, um, as it wounded down to playoffs?
Yeah, so I think talking about the roster swaps, I mean, one of them is I've said this before. I think it's probably fair to criticize our decision making and the way things happened, and the other, I don't think it is. Um, and so, speaking about the mid lane swap, it's at the end of the day, what everyone on the team, the players, the coaches, the staff are trying to do is to put ourselves in the best position to win. And every move that we make is with that goal in mind. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And I think I'm still really proud of how Yasuri played. I think he stepped up. He had some real pop-off games. He was one of our best performers this series as well. Um, and I'm still really proud of the way that Saligo grew as a player, from starting out in that lock-in tournament and coming off his time in 100 Thieves to where he ended up in at the end of spring. I thought was really impressive. So I'm very happy with both mid laners this season, and I can't wait to see them do great things next year.
And so, yeah, with that perspective, you guys now head on to next year, 2022. And so, I mean, you guys just lost, just been eliminated from playoff contention. And so, I mean, it might not be the best time to ask you right now in your current headspace. But nevertheless, how are you guys going to look into that next year?
So there's a lot of stuff that went really, really well for us this year. The way that we built our culture, the way that we upgraded our operations and facilities at the Verizon 5G Gaming Center has been a world of difference. And so moving into next year, we have some really exciting core pieces that I am really excited to work with and build around. And we have, I think, a really great base, which was something that we always aimed for in the previous years, but I don't think we had. And so with our staff, with our players, I think we're primed for lots of success next year. I'm excited to go away and work on it and work out what it looks like and build it from there.
I mean, despite the elimination, you guys have been one of the only teams in NA to field an all NA roster, and so I mean, what does it mean for what does it mean to the amateur scene in which they see that NA that they see teams fielding full NA rosters would have an effect on their futures. And already we're seeing good NA talent shining on in the LCS.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dignitas is an org that puts a lot into NA talent, evidenced in our academy roster and our Dignitas Mirage amateur roster, but also in, as you said, the LCS team being built from core NA talent. I think moving into next year, we've seen some amazing stamp performances. The Dignitas Mirage team just took down EG Prodigies and is one series away from qualifying for Proving Grounds with some rookies, which would be one of the only amateur teams to do so with rookies. And then we've got obviously Will, who stepped in as our academy jungler this year, who's still competing, also still playing in the Grand Prix tournament over the next week, and he is truly a shining star that we're very excited to work with as well. So I think NA talent has definitely shown a bit of a resurgence, and it's really, you see the seed starting to grow. And throughout the next year or two, I think we will see just an absolute explosion as all of these new talents break onto the scene. They start showing up in the academy. People like Danny start showing up in LCS, and it's going to be a really exciting time to be a North American League of Legends fan.
And so the perspective remains on the LCS team. And so within that specific roster, you have two players whose contracts are running out. Acadian and Afromu, according to the database, global contract database. And so, where do they fit into next year, or is this something that is still not really been considered or as such?
It's still too early to talk about next year's plans with any form of certainty or definition. Um, I can say that working with both of them has been an absolute pleasure. They've been our leadership figures this year, and it's just been really amazing to watch them build this team together. Um, we're gonna have to go away and have some conversations before I can share any details on that.
And we'll see in the future next year how Dignitas will look in the LCS. Bakery, so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me amidst the elimination. Um, do you have any final words to say to the fans, or if it's possible?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank every Dignitas fan out there for cheering on us till the end. It's been truly great to have that North American team at one point to be, the people's champs, the team the LCS needs and everything. And I'm really excited next year to get back to that status and cement it and truly become the people's team. So I'm really excited. Huge shout out to everyone cheering and to every single one of my players and staff. I truly appreciate the work you did, guys.
All right, perfect. That has been Bakery of Dignitas. I've been Pedro Romero. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later in the next one. Take care, everyone.